Stephen A., you've been lamenting about this super team that became even more super when KD joined. Is the season already over?
Well, the regular season is. I mean, look, I don't want to hear no nonsense from Max, who gets to watch beautiful fights from ringside on Saturday nights and goes to Vegas. There are worse places to go than Sin City, let me tell you. But let me tell you something right now. I'm so disgusted. I was watching the game last night, some of it. I couldn't take but so much of it. And I just said, you know what, that damn Max Kellerman, I know he's going to be smiling today that is, like it's no big deal. But it is a big deal. Kevin Durant has ruined the regular season. I understand that the championship is not a foregone conclusion. I understand that the playoffs could be labeled somewhat interesting with San Antonio, with the Oklahoma City Thunder, who's still not a bad team, by the way, with Cleveland in the East. But the regular season itself, I mean, this is what we talk about here. 45 points. 71-33 at the half. Blake Griffin getting a technical foul, sitting on a bench in the third quarter. Chris Paul not having but so many points. DeAndre Jordan with his loving the gold medals more than NBA championship self. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And what happens? You go up against Kevin Durant, and everything is just ruined. It's just ruined. It's just ruined, okay? This is Kevin Durant, one of the top 3 players in the world, who goes to the team with the best regular season record, with the reigning 2-time league MVP, with the best shooting backcourt in the world that we've ever seen in the NBA. This is what we get. I mean, just an annihilation. No answer whatsoever for the Golden State Warriors. They could put up 120 a night if they wanted to. And I'm just saying, this is what y'all want. This is what the Max Kellermans of the world want. This is what the basketball fans out there want. I mean, listen, I'm going to watch everybody else. It'll be interesting to watch these other teams. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not that interested in seeing Golden State in the regular season. Not the regular season. They've ruined it. Kevin Durant has ruined the regular season. He is too great of a player to end up there, of all places. 6'11", 6'10", 6'11", 7'6" wingspan, can handle, can pull up from 30, and he's within one game of an NBA Finals, loses, and goes to the team he loses to. I mean, you just can't make this up. I am so disgusted because I am old school. I love competition. It means everything to me. And this guy ends up going and joining the enemy instead of looking forward to going up against him. The whole regular season's fun. Y'all want to watch Golden State. I really don't. I really don't. I'm just disgusted because, to me, I don't see how in a 7-game series you can figure things out, make it hard, make it difficult or whatever. But on any given night, 82 games, unless Golden State takes the night off, I mean, who wants to see Golden? I don't understand it. Oh, man.
Well, as usual, you're wrong, Stephen A. Smith. Saying that Kevin Durant ruined this upcoming regular season is like saying the 1992 Dream Team ruined the Olympics. That was spectacle. That was awesome to watch. Here's the difference. Imagine if in '92, instead of just destroying the rest of the world, and that includes in the gold medal round, waiting for the Dream Team in the gold medal round was the Redeem Team. Waiting for Jordan and Pippen and Barkley and Patrick Ewing and all those guys, waiting for them was LeBron James and Chris Paul and all of those guys. Because that's what we have here. Yes, of course, the Golden State Warriors, assuming health, will be unchallenged during the regular season and even in the Western Conference playoffs. I feel differently than you. I think in a 7-game series, you're less likely to do anything against them because over time, you will actually find out who's the better team. And it's so clear that they're the better team. Doc Rivers is right. There's no gap. That's a Grand Canyon between them and the Clippers, who weren't communicating on defense, which you have to do. And even then, it ain't going to help you that much against this Golden State Warriors team. So yes, they will romp through the regular season, assuming health. They will destroy everyone in the playoffs, and yes, that includes the Spurs and the Clippers and the Thunder and whoever else you want to mention. But waiting for them in this year's upcoming finals, this season's upcoming finals, is another super team that they just split the last two finals with. This is one of the most epic setups to a season and postseason in the history of American team sports. And you're lamenting the fact that the Warriors are going to be this awesome. Why? Because the GM didn't pull the trade? Because when a general manager does this, these teams are roundly praised. When Brian Cashman, I mentioned earlier in the show, brings in Chuck Knobloch before the 1998 season, and the Yankees win 125 games, everyone lauds them. But when the player decides through free agency, which he earned, he did not have a choice what team he went to. He played 7 years for that team.
You're talking to the wrong dude.
And now when he decides,
I am a player's guy. I am a player's guy. I have religiously been a player's guy all my career. I am all about the players. Here's the problem. First of all, if the GM, this is not baseball, this is basketball. And if the trade was made, the likelihood they would have had to give up mega parts in order to get a guy the quality.
You can sign guys in baseball.
He would have. No, wait a minute. You can sign them, but what I'm saying is just signing them. If you had traded for them in the NBA, you have to have equitable compensation. It's rare that you're able to pull off a heist where you get a Kevin Durant by giving away nothing in return. It doesn't work that way.
Miami got LeBron James and Chris Bosh.
Time out. Miami got LeBron James and Chris Bosh. Miami, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, D. Wade in 2007 signed 3-year deals with an opt-out in 2010. As I reported on many occasions, it was never supposed to be Chris Bosh. It was always supposed to be Carmelo, who was in Miami, but Carmelo wanted his 5 years, $80 million from Denver because he sat up there and said, I'm not letting go of that kind of money instead of betting on himself, which is why Bosh ended up there with D. Wade and LeBron. Secondly, LeBron, even though people want to call him out, I got some of my boys always calling LeBron out for leaving for Miami to begin with. Keep in mind that Miami was 47-35 the year before. They got bounced out in 5 games in the first round by Boston. Boston still had the big three in KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Rondo was there. And on top of it all, Indiana was on a come-up. Plus, LeBron had left Cleveland because of a lot of personal stuff that went on that really rubbed him the wrong way. So that's not the same as Kevin Durant.
When that happened, LeBron and Dwayne Wade were 2 of the 3 best players or 4 best players on planet Earth playing on the same team with another perennial all-star. We all knew what was going to happen. They were going to be an immediate powerhouse. And that's what happened.
Wait a minute. And they lost. Hold it. It wasn't immediate because they lost to Dallas. That's number one.
In a game in which LeBron choked away the finals, still went to the finals year 1.
Oh, wait a minute. Not only did they lose to Dallas, but the following year, they were down 3-2 to that very crew in Boston before LeBron James went ballistic in Game 6, dropped 45 and 15.
The Warriors are coming up against a team in these finals that they beat in 6 competitive games without their when that other team was missing 2 of their best 3 players, and then followed that up, collapsing up 3-1, and they just added an all-star, making these finals even better.
Hold on. Draymond Green got suspended for Game 5. Iguodala got hurt for Game 5 and Game 6. Bogut as well. You had 3 different guys that went down. So wait a minute. What I'm saying to you is this. LeBron did not join a team that was 73-9 with a 2-time league MVP with the best shooting backcourt in the history of basketball. That's not the team he joined. You look at Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant by himself, not needing anybody. Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Kevin Durant is a top 3 player on the planet. And you go to the team that beat you? Oh, don't get me started with this. I'm trying not to be upset, Max. Don't tick me off. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. The regular season.
Why do you think he went to the Warriors, Stephen A? Why the Warriors?
Because he wants to ensure, because first of all, he wants to give himself the best chance to win a title.
What gives them the best chance? Are they the most talented team, or are they the best constructed team with the best culture? Because the Warriors are here being rewarded for playing the right way.
I would have to say both.
Kevin Durant, well, maybe.
I'm not knocking the Warriors. I'm not knocking the Warriors. The Warriors did nothing wrong.
Well, why is Durant doing something wrong? Why is Durant doing something wrong if he looks at the Warriors and goes, look, he was on the team at the time with Ibaka and Westbrook and an excellent and improving rotation of young players and a better coach than he used to have. He came very close to beating the Warriors. Why did he leave for the Warriors? Because he felt like he couldn't beat them, or because he felt like they play the way he wants to play?
Oh, come on now. The fact of the matter is that, look, you want me to go there? I'll go there.
Please.
He took the easy way out. He took the easy way out. And by the way, I'm going to say it again because, see, I don't want to come across as being disrespectful towards Kevin Durant. I'm applauding his greatness. I'm saying he's so great that the balance of power shifts that dramatically. I'm complimenting him. But while doing so, I have to acknowledge to you, I'm not talking about a player. I consider Kevin Durant a superstar. It is the weakest move I have ever seen by a superstar. Ever. There's no disputing this. This man is that great, and his team was on the cusp of a championship. You can legitimately make the argument he choked in Game 6.
Sure.
In Game 7, he waited too long to be aggressive.
Okay.
So if you choked in Game 6 and you waited too long to be aggressive in Game 7, you were the reason primarily that y'all lost to Golden State.
Don't you think
and then
he
you
knows,
joined them?
Don't you think Kevin Durant knows that this would be the reaction and that he would get much more credit for staying the course and has a very good chance to beat the Warriors if he stayed there, considering how close that series was? I saw you at Game 7. We were both there. I mean, that was a close game that was decided in the last couple of possessions that game. You don't think that he knows, with a better coach than he used to have, at least in terms of playoff X's and O's, with the best supporting cast he's ever had around him, that are all kind of reaching their prime together and all that, you don't think he knows he'd get more credit for staying? So the question as to why he leaves is best answered because he's sick and tired of talking about who takes the last shot, him or Westbrook. On the Warriors, the guy who takes the shot is the open man, and that's the way he wants to play. He doesn't want to have to worry about egos and alphas. He wants to play basketball the right way, and he looks at the Warriors and says they do that.
I was completely unaware that Kevin Durant went out and hired Max Kellerman to be his publicist. I mean, you're doing a beautiful job. I want to compliment you on that. It's absolutely sensational. You make a very, very compelling argument.
Well, thank you very much.
But it doesn't negate the facts. And it's not just about Stephen A. Smith. There are old school dudes. There are Hall of Famers. There are champions who all have religiously said it's not something they would do. You have guys in the NBA that Kevin Durant is still... Hold on. You have guys in the NBA who Kevin Durant have walked up to as we speak. I'm not talking about this moment, but throughout the offseason, asking guys all over the place, how do you feel about what I did? Do you think I did the right thing, or whatever the case may be? There is no question that Kevin Durant is a superstar. I know he's a great guy. I don't care what issues he might have with what I'm saying. I think he is a superstar of the highest order and a good person. But the move to go to Golden State, not anywhere else, he could leave for anywhere else, but to go to that team is the weakest move I have ever seen by a superstar, and it does not compare in any way to LeBron, because Miami was not Golden State. It's two different stratospheres.
I mean, if you put enough great players together, you can assume they're going to be really good. And if that's the weakest move by a superstar you've ever seen, then I suppose the weakest move by a GM ever is when the Lakers traded for Wilt Chamberlain to put him together with Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. That was a very weak move by the Lakers, I suppose.
Okay. But then again, the executive himself isn't the one on the court competing. It's the player.
Right. It's fine when the GM moves the pieces around the board, but when the player moves the pieces around the board, that's not good.
Well, what I'm saying to you is this. Kevin Durant, he goes out on the court. You're leaning on the best shooting backcourt of all time.
Sounds pretty good.
Along with a crew of dudes that just went 73-9. Who beat you? You got to remember, it's not about Golden State and just their record. It's the fact that he went to the team who beat him. If he didn't play Golden State in the playoffs, I wouldn't be saying this. But they beat you.
Right. If that's how
and you don't want them?
That's how hard it is to win a championship in the NBA.
Come on.
Every dynasty ever in the NBA, the dynasties, when you look at them on paper, you go, that is an unfair team, because that's what it takes, particularly with a LeBron James super team in the other conference.
Well, I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit because you've covered boxing. You've seen a guy get knocked out and then get up and kiss the opponent after the opponent knocked him out. So I guess you're used to that kind of stuff.
So you want to kiss me now? Is that what you're saying? Are you trying to kiss me now? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Just because you get knocked out, you're trying to get up and kiss me?
First of all, I'm waiting for you to hit me with a jab, let alone a knockout blow. Secondly, and more importantly, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. You can look at it any way you want to. What it really comes down to is the fact that, again, you went to the team who beat you.
No, we get it.
I can't emphasize that enough. Come on,
And a
man.
lot of people are as livid as you are, Stephen A., but you guys clearly opposite ends of the spectrum here. Stephen A. depressed about the super team. Max is fired up. Yes.
Molly, could you imagine if I had to travel to California to see that game last night? You have any idea how ticked off I
See,
would
that's
be?
what this is really about. This is you being selfish, Steve.